Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the 6th edition of The Arena here on ACTN. The Arena, a collaboration between ACTN and the Trinidad and Tobago Boxing Association, where we come to you every Friday night highlighting the best young prospects in the amateur field of Trinidad and Tobago and those who are vying for selection on the national team and for international tournaments. Tonight, we have a 6-bout card, and we have some of the regular guys. Nairel Hussein, Kylan Rose will be taking part. It's going to be a very interesting 6-bout card. Joining me ringside is international 5-star referee James Beckles. So we're going to take a short break. When we return, we go ringside for bout number 1. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9. Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to the arena, and we have our first bout on tonight's card. In the red corner, we have Nairel Hussein, the young and upcoming rising star from the Biomel Boxing Gym, and his opponent is from YTC Conquerors, Richie Ralph. Alongside is Mr. James Beckles. Beckles, welcome.
Thank you very much, George, and it's good to be here looking at some good young talent. We have grown accustomed to seeing Nairel on show, and he always gives us a good show. His opponent changes, but he doesn't.
Well, quickly, having seen Nairel over the past months or so, for a while, what's your take on him being from official, a referee's perspective? Is he improving, where his strengths and weaknesses are still?
Well, he is improving, but we see it on every bout, in fact, that he is improving in things like movement and his ability with combinations and so on. Where I would suggest that he develops more or works on is his punching. He punches at the moment. He doesn't punch with the weight of the body and shoulder behind the punch, which is one of the criteria of scoring, in fact. So that he needs to develop that. He's more a touch boxer than anything else, and he needs to develop some good punching power. He punches with his arms still.
Yeah, but he's a bit fast with some of the shots too, and what we see here in the first round, not much action. On the other hand, Richie Ralph, one of the youngsters from the YTC Conquerors, and that's the end of the first round. And what's your take on
the first round? In the meantime,
well, as usual, I think Nairel uses movement and his hand speed to win this round, and I think that's the way the bout will continue. He has great hand speed, as we know, and the movement to always kind of frustrates his opponents. And let's see how Mr. Ralph will adjust in the second round. Maybe his coaches can come up with something, but they need to cut the ring off, and that is what they're not doing. They're just following Nairel around.
Okay, we're into the second round now. Remember, this is the arena here on ACTN, the official station for the Trinidad and Tobago Boxing Association, as we continue our collaboration, bringing to you the best of our young boxers, those who we are sure to see, in line for selection for major tournaments leading up to the Olympics. But when you look at our young crop of boxers, Mr. Beckles, how far are we off? Because I know that you were at the Olympics on one occasion, right? when you look at the standard of boxing abroad in the Olympics, the young crop, how far are they off presently from getting to that spot?
We are very far off. And I just came back from the South American Youth Championships, in fact junior championships, where you had 14 and 15-year-olds. And I would suggest that some of those 14 and 15-year-olds will beat some of our elite athletes here. It was amazing to see these young athletes, and what I gather from that and always is the fact that we are so far behind, and when you tell that to our coaches, they really don't take you on, I think, but we are so far behind in development. I think you can count on your fingers some of the boxers who might be ready at least to take a step up. I wouldn't say they're ready for major competitions, but they can take a step up, and one of them is Nyrel.
Yes.
And he has a chance because of his hand speed, his style of boxing, and the way he uses the ring. The others, it would be a far reach.
But we're still watching here the action in the second round. I don't think that Richie Ralph has really, done any major, created any major impact so far here. He's really just chasing Nyrel, and that's the end of the second round.
Yes.
And again, I would think that the first two rounds definitely should go the way of Nyrel Hussein.
Yes, and the second round too. But my main thing is that the coaches are the ones to make the adjustments for the boxers.
But have you seen any adjustment with Ralph so far?
He came out aggressively in the opening of the round, but after that, that was it. The same thing just continued over and over.
Well, this is the third and final round here, and
I think he needs to put pressure on. Well, he's doing some of it now.
Would we say that Nyrel is a bit more experienced than Ralph, and Ralph is still in the learning stages of the sport?
Well, we could say a lot of things, but we could also say that Nyrel is just 15 years old. So
he has been more active.
Well, that's not his fault, George. And I continue to say that. If for every tournament we have, he's there and he's building up his experience, it means that the others should be doing the same.
Definitely.
And we can't say that, okay, because Nyrel comes to these tournaments, whether he's 14, 15, or whatever it is, and he doesn't back down from any bouts. He has fought against
I think he has fought on every one of our arena.
Every one of the arena
so far.
Cards. And besides fighting on the cards or boxing on the cards, we have to realize something. He doesn't back down from anybody. He boxes juniors, seniors, youth. He comes and he's gaining his experience. So if he is a little more experienced than the others now, it has nothing to do with how often, because these guys come to the same tournament. Some of them don't box.
Yeah. You've seen a lot of movement there from Ralph, but he's not really doing, anything. And Nyrel, on the other hand, what I like about Nyrel, he's not a one-dimensional boxer. He uses both hands very, very effectively.
Very much so. Like I said, though, he must. That's arm punching again.
Yeah.
What he must get into it is that power, and that is what he doesn't have. But he uses the jab quite effectively.
10 seconds remaining here in the third and final round, and I think it's about that Nyrel Hussein should be given the victory.
That's the end of the third and final
So what's your overall take on the first bout?
The winner by unanimous decision in favor of the red court.
And as we suggested, Nyrel
Hussein.
Hussein.
But it's like I continue to say, George, it's like monotonous.
Yeah. Yeah, we have former champion there, that's Floyd the Blade Trumpet, giving out the results. And we must compliment the stand-up boxers now, because we have now we're not giving out medals anymore. We're giving out a cash incentives for the first the winner and the loser. So that's a step in the right direction.
Well, it's not incentive. It's not really cash incentive. It's just a stipend for the boxers to get them through, because some of them pay their own way to come to these cards and so on, or the gyms. So at least helping them out with a small stipend is always a good thing. It will go a long way.
Okay. Well, we enter bout number 2, and we have Denzel Massey, another boxer from Baramel Boxing Gym, and he is up against Ramdar Hari from Fine Line Boxing, Fine Line Fight Factory actually. And I think this is the first time we've seen Hari. Not much is known about him. He is from the gym coached by Ria Ramnarayan and Bharat Ramuta.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting to see how he lines up here against Massey, who is one of the boxers who has been regular. I think he missed maybe 1 or 2 of the arenas, but he has been a boxer, strong, but again.
But he flatters to deceive.
Yes, very.
A lot of the times in his bout he starts off well, but in the middle round he seems to fade, and that's not good. If you start strong.
But what do you think? What do you think is the reason for that? Because he's a strong young man.
Well, he's strong, but strength is not all. Like there, he is waiting on the other boxer to that's not smart.
Yeah.
He's just posing there and doing nothing. And that's what I said. He starts strong and then he just covers up, as you can see.
Hari looks
like
to be a decent boxer. You know, trying to use both hands. His guard held high up.
Well, Massey is showing some good defense. That's a good right hand by Massey. Let's see. It's not bad boxing, these two.
And that's the end of the first round.
And that's what I meant about Massey.
Yeah.
You start well, you start strong, and then you stop punching.
Yes.
And you get hit for whatever reason, like you want to get hit.
Yeah.
That is not smart boxing. It means you're going to lose.
And it's not the first time we have seen him, you know, box this way.
It's in fact, I think that's where he loses a lot of his bouts. It makes no sense at all.
Yeah,
you're boxing, you're winning, you're on the attack, and you just stop, put your hands up, and you let the other boxer punch away at you. That means that you're going to lose points, so you might even lose the round.
But you think it was a close first round?
To me, if I had to score it, I would still score it for Massey. I think that he had Hari missing a lot and so on, and he did land some good punches. I think though that he made it. If it was close, he made it close.
With how he ended the first round, yeah, a sneaking right hand there from Hari. And you see Massey now, like
he's just covering up.
He has lost that.
But to me, it's good defense too, because Hari isn't really.
Most of the shots have been
on the glove.
On the gloves.
Let's see what the judges think. And those are not really effective punches, I would say.
But Hari, on the other hand, we have seen him for the first time. How does he look to you?
He looks pretty good, in fact. He looks pretty good. And that's what I mean about Massey.
Yeah.
See?
I think the last time we saw Massey fight, he didn't finish the fight. He didn't finish the round.
That's his problem, like I said. He starts so strong, you say, okay, this looks good for him, and then that's it. And then after that, it seems as though he just gives up.
I'm looking to see how he ends the second round.
Well, he isn't doing too well in this middle round. In the middle of this round, he isn't doing too well. But let's see what happens. He isn't pressing the action, if you notice. Harry is doing most of the work.
And that's the end of the second round. And I would think that you're boxing and relatively new boxer, you should use your dominance, you know, and try to...
Yeah, your experience that you have and so on. In fact, he is giving away the bout. He probably won the first round, but the second round he definitely lost it. And that is some lack of action.
Yeah.
He probably... Let's say Harry landed one punch or whatever, he just stopped boxing. Definitely. You don't do that when you protect yourself at all times. And I think that he is just giving away the bout. He isn't boxing very smart.
Well, this is the third and final round, and I think he'll have to have a monster third round here if he's to get the victory, because definitely a poor second round.
A very poor second round. And he hasn't started this one pretty good too.
And Harry's... Although some of
Harry has built confidence. That's the main thing.
Although some of Harry's shots might be hitting the gloves, he's more active.
He's the aggressor now.
He's the aggressor, yeah.
And not all of his shots are missing. As you can see, he's still scoring. Massey is just going back, doing nothing. Look again. It's good defense and so on, yes, but you have to score. He's just covering up. He isn't throwing...
Some of the shots are getting in.
Well, I'm not seeing much getting in per se to hit him, but he's covering up. He isn't defending himself.
He's getting an 8 count here, so referee Latoya must have seen something that we didn't see.
Well, I didn't see him get hit that much, but probably she saw that he was in some trouble. And he's just covering up, doing nothing. Yes. I might even do like Latoya did and stop the bout in any case, because he isn't doing anything.
But I must say a good performance here by Harry.
By Harry, yes, I must say that.
Because you are
he looks like the one with the experience.
Definitely, definitely.
And I would say that he's on his way to a victory. I mean...
Well, Massey did get in a couple.
Yeah, he's coming back, but that's too few.
Yeah.
You have to be busy throughout you have 3 rounds, you have to be busy. Caught Harry with a good shot there.
Yes.
You have to be busy throughout 3 rounds. You cannot rest. It's 3 rounds.
Yeah. And he's supposed to be the aggressor.
Yeah,
right now,
he's going back and watch. Look at that again. Yeah. I mean, you're just letting your opponent punch away at you for whatever reason. He just caught him with one, but you're just giving up the bout.
But like his power is not even affecting Harry, because he's hitting Harry and Harry is still coming forward.
Well, it has nothing to do with I hardly think it has anything to do with power. Massey looks like he wants to get out of the ring.
Exactly. He
didn't want to do
exhausted.
this. You know?
So
I don't think exhausted, but I don't think that he wanted to get it.
Look, yeah. Well, Harry picks up the victory, and we see another one of our young boxers there. Well, not young, but young in the sense of professional. Princely Isidore handing out the prize. And this is bout number 3, and this is 2 of the better recognized boxers here. Jesse Beckles, we know the quality of Jesse Beckles, and Sean Joseph. Sean is in the red from World Class Boxing Gym, and Beckles in the blue from Cosmic Boxing Gym. We know the quality of Jesse Beckles, but for some strange reason, you know, he doesn't live up to his experience.
The hype. And it has nothing to do with his ability. He is one of the better boxers in the country. We all know that. When it comes to actual boxers with talent. I think his problem is consistency and training. He doesn't train. He doesn't look like he wants to box. Something, but he isn't there. But look at the skill set. He has great skill set.
He used the rings very nicely.
Very good and a wonderful jab. You would have to say that he has one of the better jabs that we have around now. He should be able to beat people at will, but...
Does he really know the quality he has?
He does not. He doesn't know his own ability.
Or he needs someone to bring that out of him?
Well, probably. I think he needs a step up with his training and his motivation.
But one
He
thing,
doesn't have that
one thing with him, he doesn't back down from a challenge.
from anybody.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make you consistent. That doesn't make you, you know what I mean, part of the elite set.
Yeah.
You could be elite in age, but not elite in anything else.
Yeah. Sean Joseph, on the other hand, he has been around for a while.
Yes, but to me, and I've said before, Sean Joseph is a one-dimensional boxer. He doesn't change much when I say that in terms of style and so on. He doesn't change he boxes each bout the same way. And that's it. I don't think you can succeed in international competition like this. His skill set needs to change. He can get away with it here locally, but if he meets proper boxers, like even this year, Jesse Beckles, who will outbox him and so on, he wouldn't stand a chance. Somebody who could really box.
And you are boxing a guy who doesn't really train.
Doesn't really train.
And he's giving you a lot of problems because, you know, I think...
Yeah, the movement will always beat Sean Joseph because he comes forward, see? Yeah. He comes forward all the time, yeah. And he comes forward one way all the time. So that a boxer, a real boxer will always, who can box and move, would make him miss and make him look bad.
And that's the end of the first round. Where do you see the judges heading?
Close, I would say it's a close round. I think it's very close. You'll have to give Sean Joseph some points, I guess, for his aggression, coming forward, things like that. Jesse Beckles boxed, I think, quite well. I think it's just a matter of what the judges think.
Round 2.
We go into round 2, bout number 3. Sean Joseph in the red and Jesse Beckles in the blue.
And he's there again, coming forward.
And he doesn't move his head.
Just comes forward.
Yeah.
And like I said, a good boxer will always pick him off. He needs to change that style somehow. Maybe even try to double jab his way in. But boxers who move are gonna, you know, outbox him.
Is it that the style of a boxer is determined by his coach?
Or sometimes, a lot of times, yes, but a lot of the other times, it's I guess how the boxer started off.
Yeah. Let me see Beckles there trying to land a couple shots.
I think he landed some. And we still have to remember that although it's been some time, Jesse Beckles is still recovering from surgery and so on.
Okay.
In fact, I thought he came out a little too early to resume boxing.
But early in his career, I mean, he was a promising.
He's still promising, and we tend to forget. And I mention it all the time that Jesse Beckles is a very young guy.
Okay.
He's been around so long that we think he's old.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
But Jesse Beckles is very young. He started young, so I guess that is it. But he's quite young, and he still have a lot of potential. As we see there, Sean Joseph dropped his hand and he got tagged. And that's one of his problems also. When he throws punches, he doesn't protect himself. See, his hands, he's wide open. If Jesse was doing more work, good movement there, but if Jesse was doing more work, it would have made his job more easier here. But he's given Sean Joseph all the chance to box his bout, which is coming forward and coming in. This is again a close round.
It's going to come down to the
judges,
final round and
judges,
the judges. Yes,
I always say the judges. It comes down to the judges. And Jesse needs to do, instead of just covering up, as we saw with Massey just now,
Yeah, he
let
needs
the
to-
hands go,
Yeah.
let the hands go, and keep him off. Right now he isn't using the hands, he's just thing, and that's like giving away the rounds. Because the more active boxer is the one that the judges most likely are going to look at.
And that's the second round. And again, another close round here.
Yes, and Jesse looks spent.
But again, for a person who doesn't train.
Yes, well, you
cannot
have to expect that.
Yeah, you have to expect
But
that.
that's not the fault of Sean Joseph.
Yeah.
If you come to box, you're supposed to be fit. And I think that Jesse is spent at the moment. You can see him blowing. Let's see what happens in the third and final round.
Also, Mr. Aaron Prince.
And Jesse can switch both sides and be effective from both sides. But he has to make up his mind which is his more effective side.
What do you think he needs to do here? Because the first and second round was close.
He needs to outbox Sean. Move and outbox him. And don't let Sean even come close. Like that. And he should be moving then, right? And he moves now, set up again, and moves so that Sean wouldn't get to score. And he needed to do that for the entire bout.
Yes.
Because he's the superior boxer here. But when you don't have the conditioning to do such a thing, you can say it in your mind, but
Yeah.
it's difficult to do. And what he was supposed to be doing in the first and second round,
He's doing now in
he's
the-
doing
yes.
now.
Because you realize
Because
that
Sean hasn't scored yet.
it definitely, I was just about to say, Sean is finding it
All the
difficult to land.
scoring so far has been done by Jesse, which is what he was supposed to be doing in the first round. Don't give Sean a chance to come in.
Yes.
See, make him
Moving,
miss, tag him.
You
That's
see?
it.
Yeah.
And because Sean comes forward so much with his head down and he comes forward at one pace and one speed, it is difficult for him to adjust
Yeah.
when another boxer, a good boxer moves.
I don't think Sean has landed a punch
in this round yet.
so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
As he
Because-
turn around. But that's what I'm saying. It's one of the things Sean has to adjust to. He just goes forward, and when he goes forward, head is down, the other boxer can take advantage.
But a great third round here for Beckles in the sense of his movement. But I don't think he's moving good, but he's not landing punches. So
But Sean wasn't landing either.
Yeah.
But Beckles was at least, you see,
Yes.
the movement.
you
And the
are
movement
seeing,
is still troubling Sean, and it will continue.
you are seeing bits of
Glimpses.
glimpses of the quality that Beckles has.
Yes, the
Yeah.
skill. He has good skill set.
Yeah.
As if he's committed enough to do that. And he's not committed enough. I don't think he's committed enough. He has so much skills, is what he's going to do with it. Definitely he's the more skillful boxer.
Yeah.
But he's not the more committed boxer. That one has to go to Sean Joseph, but Sean Joseph hasn't gotten
Yeah,
a punch
but
in this third round.
A great
Third round for
Third round
Beckles.
for
Look, he
Beckles.
lands there
Yeah.
again, but this is what he should have been doing in the first two rounds. So if he loses, it's his own fault.
yes.
End of the third and final.
If he loses the bout, it's just his fault.
So we await the results.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for both boxers. The winner of bout number 3 on points in favor of the red corner, Sean
Right.
Joseph.
Well, I guess.
Sean and all looks kind of surprised.
Yeah.
But if Beckles had done what he did in the final round, I don't think that he would have given Sean the chance.
Well, there we see one of
Yes.
our boxers there.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua De Matos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Before I
Unfortunately,
Hey,
Max.
kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh,
What's that?
Welcome to this edition of The Interview, and as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
You're now changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
My first question was, and roll back that tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
All by not something.
In all the time we've played together, I've always been the decoy. Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9. Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to the arena on ACTN, and we go into bout number 4, and we have in the red corner Nathan Debiset from Biomel Boxing Gym, and his opponent is Joshua Hunt from YTC Conquerors. Again, both boxers we have seen over a period of time here on the arena. But looking at these two fighters here, Mr. Beckles, you have seen them on occasions. Are these boxers improving?
I am not seeing the improvement, George, sorry to say. But if you look at what they're doing, they're building up experience. But in terms of the basics, which is, you see, that's
Yes.
arm punching.
Yeah.
In international competition, he wouldn't get a point for that in any case. You have to put together good punches, and that comes from basic coaching. You must have the basic skills, a good jab, good combinations, and I don't think a lot of emphasis is placed on what is the criteria for a legal blow.
Okay.
And if the coaches know this, then that is what they should train the boxers towards, but you don't see it coming out in a lot of the boxers. There are those that you definitely see it from, but there are others that you can look at the bout as a layman, George, not somebody into boxing and say, hey, that's not a good punch. Yes or no?
Yes.
And you can look at the boxers and so on. So we need to do some work with our coaches, I think.
In all fairness, would you say that the boxers at YTC are a bit at a disadvantage? When I say disadvantage, I mean that they are in an institution. Are they privy to the type of training and knowledge of the sport that the boxers who are outside, will have? Because why I say that, and that's the end of the first round anyway. And why I say that is because the boxers who are outside, I mean, they can, view, either on social media, on other things,
I don't think that has anything to do with it.
Okay.
I think what it has to do with is what emphasis is placed on their basic skills, because you have coaches, and not that, you have committed coaches. They have these two guys that we see with them all the time, who is there, and you have to give them 100% credit for these
Mr.
youngsters here, Mr. Akwi,
he's
and the other guy, and they are here consistently. They are they bring these guys and they're trying their utmost.
But do you think that they should maybe, the association then should, from time to time, get like the national coaches to go into YTC and maybe work with these guys?
We can do that, but some of the YTC boxers come to the National Training Center.
Okay.
I think 2 days a week or something. I think it's not that. I think the coaches need to be given more coaching experience in terms of working with other coaches, going on other courses where they're available and so on, and getting used to world-class boxing.
Okay.
One tool that would help definitely is looking at world matches and so on.
Yeah.
Easy on YouTube.
Yeah.
You go, you pull it up, and you see the consistency, you see the level of boxing and so on. And I had, for the first time, 2 Caribbean referees with me at the junior championships, the South American junior championships, and they were shocked at the level of the boxing of 15 and 16-year-olds, including the girls, hitting proper shots and so on, in comparison to what we have in the Caribbean.
Well, we're into the second round, and if we go back, the first round, it wasn't much action, and we see here that's Josiah Hunt. You know, and that's the end of the second round. And so far, what's your take on round 1 and 2?
Well, in a bout that you hardly seen much real action or much real technique, I would think that perhaps the boxer in the blue corner is showing a little more spirit, he's showing a little more aggression, and he's probably landing a little more. You understand what I mean? Looking at this, you know, he's throwing a jab, but he's throwing a jab at nothing. He needs to set himself, and
he's more stretching and lunging.
That's lunging.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't get points for that, really. You don't get points for that because it doesn't come. One of the criteria, like I said, is the weight of the body or shoulder must be behind the punch.
Thank you.
That is arm
Yeah.
punching.
But as
Now his opponent is throwing proper shots.
Yeah.
He's just not landing. He's just not landing, and the person landing, whether it's good shots or otherwise, is the blue corner.
But is there a forum where, as well, you travel a lot, and you've experienced, you know, seen, you know, boxing at a high level? Is there a forum where, you know, you can, you know, have discussions with the coaches, because some of the things that you might be privy to, they might not be. Is there a forum where you can, you know, have discussions with them and guide them along certain, you know, aspects of, you know, what they need to improve in their boxers?
Well, when they have seminars and so on, when the association has seminars,
good right hand there
that's
from
a good right hand. When the association has seminars, I usually go and I lecture. But I am very close with the national team setup.
Okay.
I go to the national team training, you know what I mean? I speak to the national coach and so on. But in respect of the coaching itself, I think it is the responsibility of now I don't see the reason for that count. That's an outrageous count, which could probably change the course of the bout. But that's not a punch for a count. Especially at this stage of
where it's close.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the third and
that's
final
the end
round.
of the third and final round. Let's see the results. I will say the blue did more.
Well, as you call it correctly.
I didn't see Red doing much.
Yeah. Josiah Hunt, and we have former female champion Rhea Ramnarai in the ring, giving out the prizes. And we got into the fifth bout on tonight's card, and we have Joshua Sylvester from Biomel and Kylan Ruse from Potential Boxing Gym. Now, Ruse has been around for quite a while.
I wouldn't say quite a while. He's been around for a while. He started late.
Okay.
He started late in boxing, and
Has he improved?
I think he has. The only thing that I think he has to concentrate on, though, is, like I said, he's one-dimensional again. Like we spoke before, Sean Joseph.
Yeah.
He's one-dimensional, and he has to change that, especially against boxers that move. But good punching power. He just has to be a little smarter. He comes forward all the time. He doesn't move his head as much. And that's going to be a problem with international competition, because people are just going to beat up on you when you come straight forward like that.
But Joshua Sylvester, another one of the young, strong guys from...
Very young and very strong.
From the Biomel Gym. And we must give credit to Merrill Peters from Biomel Boxing Gym. He reminds me
Merrill
so...
Simon. Yes.
Simon. He reminds me so much of Wamba. There was an era where, you know, you were sure to get Sun City boxers in their numbers. And now Biomel has taken over. And I mean...
Well, to me, the premier gym in the country at the present time.
Yeah, it's Biomel.
I'm not speaking in terms of elite boxers and so on, but in terms of development.
Yeah.
Merrill has over 30 boxers in his gym. No other gym can
boast of that.
Can boast of that. I think it would be a good thing, especially when you have that kind of development. No, the wrong call, ref, come on. Wrong kind of development. In fact, that should have been a count. But I think that is where the government or somebody should step in and assist. When you can have 30 young men off the streets and doing this with this kind of potential. I mean, Joshua, what's his name?
Sylvester.
Sylvester. It's just about, what, 17 years old or maybe 16
I think
years old?
I think 16. A huge 16.
He's 16 years old. And when he can put up this kind of showing.
Good right hand there from
yes, it is.
Cruz.
And Joshua should have gotten a count earlier. The referee stopped the bout, and in fact, cautioned Ruiz for his head.
See, Ruiz has him backed up against
the corner there and so on. Our referees are also developing, good shot.
Yes.
Our referees are also believing just as the boxers develop.
You know, really and truly, we must give credit to the boxers and to the referees, because over the years, the boxing has improved, and the refereeing, you know, there were long time where you will always see results not going in favor, but you know, it has been consistent, you know. We must give the referees, and
it's a young crop,
and we must give them credit too for coming out, you know, and you know,
consistently and so on.
Yes.
But what has happened is that, with the exception of probably Brown and Joe Field, the other referees, it's a young crop.
Yeah.
Starting with Latoya and Isan and
and I see there's a very young, you know, upcoming.
A young Joe Field, he's just about 14.
Yes, and he's showing a lot of interest into the sport.
And that's what we need. We need some young officials, and we need some new officials and so on.
Yeah.
The sport is changing, so we need to continue to change along with it, and that includes the officiating.
Well, we're into the second round, and what's your take so far on the first round going into the second round?
Well, I think Ruiz won the first round.
Yeah.
And again, speaking again, George, his defense leaves
sometimes
a
when
lot
he
to
throws
be,
the punch, he leaves himself wide
he's open there now.
Yeah.
With good competition, I mean, that is not with good competition, he might be out of there already, and that's the bad thing.
Because he has absolutely no defense when he goes in.
Yes. He shapes up well, but when he throws his punches, he leaves himself open, and he's winging his punches something to work on. He needs to get in a little closer because he, like I said, is a one-dimensional boxer, which is just coming forward and banging.
Because
and
he stands directly in front of Sylvester, but Sylvester is not taking advantage.
Yes, well, Sylvester is taking too long to capitalize.
Yes.
That's a good shot.
Yeah.
That's a good shot. Now, Sylvester is one who is very, very strong, has shown some improvement, but his hands are slow, and that's one of the main thing he has to work on. Oh, that's a good shot.
That's a shot. A good shot there from Sylvester. But then again with Sylvester, as we say with Nyrel Hussein, these guys are still fairly young. And with proper coaching and proper motivation, they should, you know, gain a lot more experience.
Yes. And, well, I don't know if...
But Ruth has come back.
I'm just looking at something here, but if Sylvester, because I know he's a youth, yeah. I don't know why they have him boxing without the headgear anyway. But that's for them. Yeah, he's winging some good shots there.
Yes.
And those are shots that we should not be taking.
And some heavy punches thrown there by Sylvester.
Very heavy punches, and there's some punches that...
But Ruiz is taking it nicely.
He usually does.
Yeah.
But he's taking too much.
Sometimes it just take one.
And those shots were on his gloves, huh?
Yeah.
We saw it, we're seeing it here.
And
I think he just ran out of steam.
I think so. I think so.
I think he ran out of steam. If you look at him now, it's just steam. He ran out of steam. And I think he was winning the...
Well, if you... Well, Ruiz winning, he got the decision. But if you look at this bout, it's similar to the bout where we saw... was it Joshua Hunt? No. Denzel Massey.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we say Massey sometimes starts...
It's very strong.
end. And I mean, to me, I found that Sylvester was, you know...
In fact, I think he was winning the...
Exactly.
He was winning the second round, for sure. Ruiz probably won the first, he won the second.
Yeah. But this is the final bout on tonight's card, and we have Tyrone St. Clair. He is from the...
No, this guy is a beast. If he learns to punch properly and so on, he would... I think he would be a great credit to his gym, probably to himself too, but he needs to be fit and to punch properly. He slaps a lot and so on, so I think the coaches have to work on that. But you have to give him credit for a couple things. One, he still punches hard whether he slaps or not. And he has his skill set isn't too bad. And he's very strong.
Yes.
Very strong.
Yeah. And he's one of the boxers that have been improving, you know, maybe not at a rapid rate, but since we have seen him.
But he needs to be in the national setup.
How do these boxers get into the national setup? We see them here from time to time. What?
Well, they're selected by the national coaches, or the national, there's a training staff. So they're selected on that basis. It's, the only thing is he lives at Siparia. So the national training base is in Port of Spain.
Okay.
And what I've suggested is to try and get him into Port of Spain at least twice a week to work with the national coaches and the national setup and so on. And if they can get that, then no problem. But him staying away and so on, I don't think he'll develop as fast. But he's a nice young product, something we can work on and develop.
Fleming, on the other hand, Shikri Fleming from Cosmic Boxing Gym, you know.
On his comeback.
Yes.
Because he used to box before as a youngster, and
yeah, so
he's back now. He has good skills, but I think he is a little out of shape. He's coming back, but
so maybe a couple more bouts should
some more bouts should get him back in instead. But at the moment, I don't think he's fit enough for this kind of action, especially the kind of pressure that this guy is going to exert. And like I said, he's so strong that he's on you all the time. He doesn't.
Yes, he doesn't give you a chance to recover.
A chance to recover or to breathe.
And that's the end.
Very competitive first round.
First round. Would you give the edge to St. Clair?
I might, just for his aggressiveness and so on, because the rest of the round seemed to be quite close in terms of punches. And usually when the punches are close, you go to the other criteria, which is aggressiveness, skill set, things like that. Okay. So let's see what happens. I will just give him the edge.
So again, viewers, if you are now joining us, this is the Arena. Every Friday night on ACTN at 8 p.m. You can join us for boxing. And Mr. Beckers, the Arena, relatively new. But is it serving its purpose?
I think it is. I just think that we need some more publicity or marketing, because it is doing what it's supposed to do for the boxers. But I'm worried that if it's not doing what it's supposed to do for the network, then we lose the code, because it's not we can't look at it as being on one hand. It's two hands that must come together and so on, as the old people say, you know.
Yeah, two hands have to clap.
Two hands have to clap. Yeah. And it might be working well for the boxers. In fact, it's working great for the boxers.
Yeah, because the exposure there.
The exposure, the constant competition, things like that. It's wonderful.
But a lot of people have been, you know, sending in good comments so far, and you know, the viewership, you know, has been increasing, because I mean, it's the only television station that carries this type of boxing in Trinidad and Tobago at presently.
Well, that's what I meant about marketing. We need to market it a little more. Yeah. And probably if we do that, we can get a lot more people involved, including sponsors, the general public, the people coming out. Usually for the arena bouts, the crowds are pretty good, and it's been increasing and so on. But
and
I think we need the viewing public more than anything else, and we need to probably start to do maybe some social marketing. Yeah. When we have the arena bouts coming up and so on, maybe we can send the tickets out or the invite out on WhatsApp and some of the other social media. Yeah.
Again, this is we enter the second round. Tyrone St. Clair versus Shikri Fleming, our final bout on tonight's card. And definitely it has been
a scrappy bout. It's been scrappy.
Especially, you know, when you look at any boxing event and you look for that last fight, which is considered the main event. You know, the other bouts were more competitive. But then again, you know, the more these guys come out and box, the more experience, you know, they're going to get. And I'm sure that from time to time you're going to see the improvement. But Fleming, as you said, on the other hand, was out of boxing, recently started back. So, you know, maybe not 100%, you know, fit. You know, and, you know, they have a saying, boxers make fights. So St. Clair, maybe, you know.
He's the one making the bout.
Exactly. Right, and however he does it, you know,
and he is landing.
Yes,
he is landing. That's the main thing. Yes. Fleming, like I said, well, he wasn't this big when he boxed before his layoff and so on. Yeah,
but that's for quite a while, because
it's good. Yeah, it's been a while. It's good to see him back though.
And the third and final round, and so far I think St. Clair should have the nod.
But in terms of skill set, I think Fleming has the better skill set.
Well, it goes back to the same situation with James Beckers, Jesse Beckers, you know?
Good skill set, but not using it effectively.
Definitely.
Or maybe like Jesse Beckers, he's waiting until the last round.
Well, so far we haven't
But
seen.
this guy is so strong
Yes.
that he wouldn't give him a chance.
Exactly.
He's
And
not going to give him a chance to use
and
that skill set.
he's a smart boxer too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, he's a smart boxer too because he ties up Fleming, you know, ever so often, you know.
He does a lot of work. And he just wants to get you on the inside. That's the main thing. He wants to get you on the inside where he can work. If you box him on the outside, as you see Fleming trying to do there, you might probably give him an in, but then he's going to come at you anyway.
Yes.
Just like that.
Another thing that we have seen improvement is the boxers. They go they did full 3 rounds now, where you don't see the tiredness that, you know, this impact a lot on the boxers in the earlies, when sometimes the second round, you know, the boxers are exhausted, they can't continue. I mean, we saw it there with Sylvester, for whatever reason he gave up, but it's not as frequent as what we used to come across in the early days of boxing.
No, and if you notice something, in the arena boxing so far, we hardly get RSCs.
Yes, yes.
We hardly get RSCs because of the matchups and so on.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to see, because then you know you have competitive bouts. Most of the bouts will go the full distance and so on. Yeah. In this one, we have only had one for the night.
Yeah. And before we wrap up, I must take this opportunity to say a special thanks to you, Mr. Beckers, because I mean, you have played a great part in getting the arena off the ground and you know, bringing it to a point where, you know, it could, you know, be one of the premier boxing events in Trinidad and Tobago on television. So again, from ACTN to you, we want to say thank you very much.
Well, the objective, George, is to keep it going.
And we have not reached where you had planned it to be.
Well,
you know?
it's in its embryo stages.
Yes.
Let's hope that it continues to progress. So when we get to that point, we get to see the reality of our dream.
Yes. So the third and final round, St. Clair in the red and in the blue. And I think St. Clair would have done enough, you know, to get the decision.
Close bout, but I think he did enough. I think he would have done enough to get the decision. But Fleming hasn't done badly in this bout at all.
Definitely.
And by a split decision in favor of the red corner.
And as we said,
yes.
Tyrone St. Clair.
And I'm not surprised that it's a split decision either. I'm not surprised that it's a split decision either.
So we have here former champion from the early stage of boxing, Roy Harry.
And he used to be a good one.
Yes, one of the
very best, yes. Not just in Trinidad, but in the Commonwealth.
Yes. And there we see Kylan Ruse receiving his trophy for being the fighter of the night. So again, good 6-bout card. We want to say thanks, Mr. Beckers, for sharing ringside with us as we look forward to another edition of the Arena collaboration between ACTN and the Trinidad and Tobago Boxing Association.
Thanks, George, and hope to see you guys next time.
Yes.
Let's see.
November the 4th, we'll be back.
November the 4th.
We'll be back.
See you.
Well, viewers, we have come to the end of another exciting arena here. 6 exciting bouts here this afternoon coming to you from the Cosmic Boxing Gym. We hope you enjoy our coverage. We look forward to you joining us on the 4th of November, where we're going to have another arena right here on this channel. So enjoy your week ahead, and we look forward to having you in our company at our next showing of the arena right here on ACTN.